then I will sign with an agency by July 31st. Because if this isn't for me, then I'm not going to put in all my time and money. And, you know, when you work as a PA, you kind of lose money. You don't, I mean, I saw, you know how it is. And I signed with my first agency July 29th. And it broke the bubble in the sense that, like, it is hard work. And I think I say this to every aspiring actor, like, do that work. So you need to work crew in order to understand the passion behind these projects that are being made. Because in Dallas, who wrote this beautiful short story, and I worked as a PA on that set, and he spent 7 years writing this film. He wrote it as a film, and then he was sponsored to do like a short film version so that he could promote it so it could turn into a film. But 7 years of work. And I think that's something that a lot of actors don't see and maybe don't fully grasp until they're like in the weeds with the rest of the crew. I'm not like in all that right now. I've heard things. I've heard that festivals are political, like in the sense that, let me tell you, I have so many haters online, but I love it. I love the hate. Hate comes with the territory. But I think that's what shocked me the most was where it was coming from. That is a bit of a loaded question, but what I've been doing on social media, especially with the dealership, is that we know each other now. They're like a second family to me in LA. And so they're able to kind of write around who I actually am as a person and like what I like to do. So that's been really, really cool to see. And I think the more authentic I've been online, the more love I get when you are being a different version of yourself, or you're being, yeah, like something crazy that you don't even believe in, but you're doing it because it's the views and the rage bait. I think that's kind of going away. I think it's not going away yet, but I think it's going to go away. The rage bait. What people need right now is just hope, and they need something that's like genuine and authentic. I'm not saying I'm the answer, but I'm just saying, like, just social media in general. I've watched it go from people being like, "Oh, rage bait," to actually that's not me. Actually, I like to cook. And I think that's interesting. Like people rebranding. Ooh, I work with them a lot, and I did this video, and I spent hours on it. I spent like 8 hours on this video, and it got like 100 views in 2 days. And I have, almost 11,000 followers. It got like 100 views in 2 days, and then I posted a random video of like things that people say to me as an actor, and it got like 14,000 views in 2 days. I don't know. And then that one took me 1 second to make. And then the other one, the video game one, took forever and nothing. It was very, very upsetting. Um, but I was like, well, I know that dance because I watched this girl do it on TikTok, and they were like, sure, why not? Like, we just need one more video. That's all. We just need one more video in here. And so I did it, just one take, the end. And I was like, okay, that was stupid, whatever. But it's gotten over like 1 million views and a ton of likes, and it's just the silliest one that we've done. And it was also like the most last minute. Yeah, I don't understand social media either. I don't understand. And I thought there was a crackdown on bots. Like I thought, but no, I know that that's not happening because I know a lot of people who buy their followers and, oh, taboo, but buy their followers and they still have that many followers. And I thought they were doing a crackdown on that. So I
Ye-
don't know. I'm hoping, have you seen the stuff about Vine coming back? They're bringing back Vine and they're doing anti-AI. So it's not even allowing you to post any AI videos. I'm going to hold y'all's hand when I say this. Here's what we're going to do. My personal life doesn't really exist, but that's okay. I'm just building, and I think I think it's gonna come together nicely. So I just have one bad experience on set. I'll say that. Like most of my personal experiences have been absolutely phenomenal. I only had one time that I almost walked off set. But that was just insane. Hi guys, my name is Alexis Schrepple. I work in film and television.
Hey everyone, this is Abhi from No-Budget Filmmaking Podcast, and here with me is Alexis. Hi, Alexis.
Hi, how's it going, Abby?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I actually just got home from a 3-year-old's birthday party.
Oh, wow.
That was really
Oh, yeah. Must be boring.
super boring.
Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah. How was your Christmas?
It was good. I'm originally from Chicago, but my parents live in Atlanta, and I live in Texas half the time and then LA another half the time. So
Hmm.
I drove from Texas to Atlanta for Christmas. So that was a little crazy with my dog, but I just got back on Sunday, so just kind of decompressing. How was yours? What'd you do for Christmas?
Oh, well, I ate a lot, and then I went into a food coma for 2 days.
No.
That was fun. I was relaxing. That's what I really needed. Okay, for everyone, for the record, if my voice is not good, it's because I'm a little bit sick. Okay, and would you like to introduce yourself to our wonderful audience?
Sure. Hi, guys. My name is Alexis Schrepple. I work in film and television. I am half the time in Texas, half the time in Los Angeles. I mostly am just an actress, but I am also a writer and director, and I do social media, which is really fun. So, yeah. Hi. Thank you for
Hi.
having me.
Yes. Thank you for being here. So how did you get into this industry?
Oh, that is a bit of a loaded question, but I did theater in high school and I modeled a little bit in college, but I went to a camp at UCLA for acting for the camera when I was in high school. And I thought that that's what I wanted to do was work in film and television. And the camp, they didn't really do a great job of um, motivating us to pursue it because I remember I left thinking, oh my gosh, I can never do this. This is never going to happen for me. So I went to college, graduated college. I majored in web design and development, which is very different from what I do right now. And I went into medical sales. So I did medical sales for a few years. And 3 years ago, I um, I was number one in the nation. And I had just taken an acting class because I was like, let me see if I still have it and have what it takes and see if I can still do this. Um, and I really enjoyed it. I signed up for the next acting class, and they were going through a lot of issues with C-suite of the company I was working for. And I ended up getting let go like the day before my class started, my second class, and they were looking for volunteers for a short film. And I was like, well, I'll volunteer, while I'm interviewing for another job. I'll volunteer for this art department for this short, small film. Well, I worked on it for about 2 weeks and they were like, well, can we hire you on full time? And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, we're just going to film this teeny tiny thing in somebody's backyard. Yeah, you can hire me full time. And I got sent like 200 pages of documents. Turns out it was a SAG-AFTRA film, like starring Sean Astin from Lord of the Rings. And, uh, and yeah, so I worked art department for that over the summer of 2023. And while I was doing that, I was taking classes and just ingesting as much as I could. I also was the runner PA. I saw that you've done PA work too. So I was the runner PA and I was the graphic designer on the set. And I was there 14 hours a day. I mean, for 2 months straight. It was wild and amazing and incredible. I learned so much in that short amount of time. And I was like, okay, God, like, if this is for me, then I will sign with an agency by July 31st. Because if this isn't for me, then I'm not going to put in all my time and money. And, you know, when you work as a PA, you kind of lose money. You don't, I mean, I saw, how it is. And I signed with my first agency July 29th. And it was just my sign to keep going. So kept going, working odd jobs while I did social media. About a year ago, I auditioned for what I thought was a car commercial, and it ended up being the Apple Sport imports and Apple Sport Chevy and Ford stuff. And so that's kind of how I started on social media. Because I didn't even have a TikTok until I started doing those. And now, yeah, so I kind of do everything, as we all do.
Yeah.
On your profile, I mean, okay,
Hmm.
well, I signed an NDA, so I can't really say much, but it was a very small crew. I'll say that.
Okay.
So it was a very small crew. So like I said, I was working like three jobs on the set, which was still amazing and cool and incredible. Um, and it was also in
Yeah.
Dallas, which is different. I know LA is a little bit more glam when
Yeah.
they show up for their SAG projects. But it was really fun. It was a blast. Absolutely loved it. And it's what like solidified. It was just interesting that like the universe, God can like bring you back to what you're meant to do and who you're supposed to be and what you wanted as a child. And I don't know. It's been really fun.
No, but that brings up an interesting point because sometimes what we dream of is not exactly what it is, you know what I mean? And as a PA, it's hard work. You're not enjoying most of it, what you're doing. So, did it break the bubble a little bit or no?
No, it actually, I became obsessed. I mean, just with films in general and film making and wanting to be on set. I will say it broke the bubble in the sense that the rest of the summer I worked in film behind the scenes. So I did graphic design for another like short film, and then I worked PA for a couple other jobs, and that was the only time I ever did that kind of work. Um, and it broke the bubble in the sense that like it is hard work, and I think I say this to every aspiring actor, like do that work. So you need to work crew in order to understand the passion behind these projects that are being made. Because yes, it's so cool being an actor and you get to show up and they do your makeup and they do your hair, but there are PAs working their butts off. Art department has been working on this weeks before you even showed up on set. The directors, I worked with a writer in Dallas who wrote this beautiful short story, and I worked as a PA on that set. And he spent 7 years writing this film. He wrote it as a film, and then he was sponsored to do like a short film version so that he could promote it so it could turn into a film. But 7 years of work, and I think that's something that a lot of actors don't see and maybe don't fully grasp until they're like in the weeds with the rest of the crew. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. But uh, in a way, it's much more of it's a collaborative project, first of all. Absolutely. And the amount of work that goes into it is just insane. A lot of people don't know that. And I think it helps you and appreciate your crew more. And how much of the networking that you did during the beginning takes you on, and how much of a personality, apart from your talent, which the talent is obviously necessary, but if you have a bad attitude, it does not take you far.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, and exactly like you're networking while you're on set too. And so, it's not just about getting to understand what everybody does, but also, getting to know other actors and other creatives. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all creatives and we're all trying to reach the same goal. So, um, you never know who's another director here. I worked with a couple other PAs on another job where I was a PA, and they were directors, and their film, it won so many awards during this last awards season. And they were PAs on this one. It's just the passion for filmmaking, that I love, and I think actors and everybody should experience that, at least once in their life on set.
Yeah, but these award shows, like there's layers of it. Like there's big award shows and the festivals that you go into, and there's different kinds which are just there to boost up your resume. Is that true?
I don't, I'm not like in all that right now. I've heard things. I've heard that festivals are political, like in the sense that, like, oh, well, we have this actor in ours, even though it's a teeny tiny role, and then that might give you a bump. Or uh, I've heard that they're a little more political, but I don't know. I don't know. I've only been to smaller ones in my area. So I just went to Lone Star Film Fest, which is in Fort Worth, Texas. And I've been to like Oak Cliff Festival or a Dallas International Film Fest, DIF. I've been to South by Southwest. That's been a fun one. I've worked South by Southwest. Um, but yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know all the politics of it. I know there are politics of it, but I'm so out of the loop right now where I'm at.
Mm, yes. How did the social media got into play, and how what did shock you?
Let me tell you, I have so many haters online, but I love it. I love the hate. Hate comes with the territory. But I think that's what shocked me the most was where it was coming from. Because, like I said, so I auditioned for a car commercial, and I just thought it was a car commercial. And then I met with Maven Managed, which is the marketing company that I work with for the Apple Sport videos, and they were already doing that for a company in LA, a car dealership in LA, and they were blowing up. Like they get millions and millions of views and followers and everything. And I kind of researched that and went through their comments, and everything was like love. They were like, "Oh my God, we love these girls. They're so amazing. They're so amazing." And then we started doing it in Texas, and the rhetoric was a little different just because, it's new. And also, people didn't realize that they were connected to each other. They thought that we were a competing entity to the one in LA, you know? And so got a lot of hate, a lot of people comparing me to the women there, which that was just shocking to me because I just thought, well, they're gonna know it's different, like, or they're gonna know it's the same, and they're gonna know like we're different people, and because the scripts are different. Like I was also contributing like my own stuff to it, like dancing. I dance, I sing, I act, I do everything. And I do those for my social media videos too, because that's what I like to do. Um, and yeah, the rhetoric was just very negative up front, which was totally fine with me. But there were a few people who couldn't handle that. And I understand why. It's not easy for people to just hate like consistently on you online. But it ended up working out. I think what's cool about what I've been doing on social media, especially with the dealership, is that we know each other now. They're like a second family to me in LA. And so they're able to kind of write around who I actually am as a person and like what I like to do. So that's been really, really cool to see. And I think the more authentic I've been online, the more love I get, I guess. So that's kind of cool that we love authentic people. We like seeing, people just being themselves online.
Which is kind of funny because sometimes you see those big personalities and they play a character. They're not being authentic sometimes. I don't want to use some alpha male guys because I don't want to give them the attention, but yeah, but they are characters. They're just weak, pathetic people, but they are playing
Those are
characters.
crazy videos. Sorry. No, you go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I'm done. I'm done. I was just asking about that because you see the duality, right? At one end, you see like there's people who give you attention or positive attention and everything for being your authentic self. And on the other hand, you see all these toxicity and someone just playing a character being rewarded in a way. So I don't know.
Are politicians. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, I won't go there. But I do feel, yeah, I feel like that. I think though with that, I mean, I'm very lucky that I'm able to kind of just be myself, and I don't have to be a character for people to like me. But I do think that when you are being a different version of yourself, or like, or you're being, yeah, like something crazy that you don't even believe in, but you're doing it because it's the views and the rage bait. I think that's kind of going away. I think or it's not going away yet, but I think it's going to go away, the rage bait. Because now I see on TikTok people doing story times, and other people will be commenting and they're like, this isn't real. This person just posted 18 different stories about an ex-boyfriend or an ex-girlfriend. And like it's all different people and they're not dating like 16 people at once, you know? I think it kind of falls apart, especially now also with like digital footprint. Like if you're trying too hard, it's just gonna fall apart. I don't know. That's my view on that. I think what people need right now is just hope, and they need something that's like genuine and authentic. I'm not saying I'm the answer, but I'm just saying like just social media in general. I've watched it go from people being like, "Oh, rage bait," to actually that's not me. Actually, I like to cook, you know. And I think that's interesting. Like people rebranding. Ooh, I there's a girl on TikTok. I don't want to talk about her, but I do because it blows my mind. She she allegedly is from Australia. Nobody knew this until recently. She became very popular for her food blog. And I don't want to say too much because people I feel like are going to know, but it's just very interesting to see how she rebranded from like Australian to American. And like her brand before was she was on all these like those male centric podcasts and stuff. And then now she is like for the girls and like does food stuff. And it seems more authentic now, but it's just crazy that like watching somebody who tried to create this like over exaggerated version of themselves and then now they're their authentic self and they're doing much better that way. So
Mm, That's that's really interesting. And speaking of some shout outs that I can give right now is like that Good News Girl. She always posts one video, or I might link her in the description. She's one of my favorites, by the way, because she does this. She posts a good news. Mostly it's related to animals on her TikTok and Instagram. So that's one. And there's this one guy. I'm gonna butcher his username, Cowphobia86 something. Uh, yeah, he's a dad bod looking guy, beard, and he's a short white guy, and he does not say any word, but it's so you see the joy in his content. So that's that.
see, I love that. I love that. I love the good news girl. I follow her. I love everything she puts out. Yeah, it's always about dogs or cats or bears. It's wonderful.
I was just such looking up the other guy as well. He's really good. He's wholesome in a way.
Yeah, send him to me. I'll
Yes,
check.
I will. And on the other hand, I literally saw some. It's it's weird. It's weird. It's some of them. It's just it's the social media stuff always intrigues me. Apart from obviously all the acting stuff, which will we talk about later. But in social media, it's more of a I don't know what is the formula, but it's the formula is to just put something out there, and most of the time uh, it can be just dumb shit.
Yes, I spent hours on a video game style video that I posted on social media, and I started doing work for a company called Blip Earth. It is a an app that's designed to like help people connect to places that are poppin' at that moment. So it's going to be used for like concerts and food and all that stuff. And so I work with them a lot. And I did this video and I spent hours on it. I spent like 8 hours on this video. And it got like 100 views in 2 days. And I have, almost 11,000 followers. It got like 100 views in 2 days. And then I posted a random video of like things that people say to me as an actor. And it got like 14,000 views in 2 days. I don't know. And then that one took me 1 second to make. And then the other one, the video game one, took forever and nothing. It was very, very upsetting. I have no idea. There was with Apple Sport Imports, we do skits and stuff too and dances. And there was just one day they were like, okay, we don't know. Do you know any other dance? And I was like, wait, I have a really good one. And it was I don't know if you heard the song, the I ain't got no panties on, ain't got no panties on, I ain't got no
No.
panties on the dance floor. It's like a song from the early 2000s or something. I don't know. I didn't know the song beforehand. Um, but I was like, well, I know that dance because I watched this girl do it on TikTok and they were like, sure, why not? Like, we just need one more video. That's all. We just need one more video in here. And so I did it, just one take, the end. And I was like, okay, that was stupid, whatever. But it's gotten over like 1 million views and a ton of likes. And it's just the silliest one that we've done. And it was also like the most last minute. Yeah, I don't understand social media either. And I work it and I have no idea. We also don't pay for ad spend. I've never paid for ad spend, like buying views or anything. And so that's also really telling of like what's going to blow up and what's not going to blow up. I just have no idea. I haven't figured it out.
Yeah, because this the current trend for my uh I don't use TikTok by the way, I only use Instagram Reels like an adult. Okay, but
Oh, my
yeah,
heart.
yes, I'm an adult. Okay, but no,
Hey,
but I don't know what's showing up on your for you page, but on mine it's just like men in women's field, and it's just like I ghosted her because she was so nice. Yeah, so I was like, oh my God.
but you're like, I'm out of here. I can't.
Yes, and no, it's funny. It's all the mix. It's one of that, and the other one is for like writers, right? Write as your main character. Oh, to a response to this dialogue, right? They abandoned you. Write a respond in the comment that, and one more is, and one of them is a lot of feminist stuff for some reason, but that's good.
I get a lot of, I think I've tailored mine because when I see that kind of stuff, I just keep scrolling. I also don't follow any influencers. Like, I don't follow any clothing influencers or anything. So I just get a lot of dog content on my For You page. And then I get a lot, oh, you know what? Recently though, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been getting a lot of like the manifestation videos where they're like, let me
Okay.
manifest for you. I'm going to make a lot of money. I'm going to have a great year. 2026 is my year. And then I'll get a ton of the videos of the tarot card readers. And they're always like, somebody famous is watching you. You're going to be big time. You're about to blow up. Everybody's going to love you. Oh, but you have some hate over here. And they're putting the evil eye on you. So we're gonna do a little thing right now to like make sure that you don't have that. I'm like, I'm having problems I didn't even know existed, you know. So that's the side of TikTok I've been on.
Yeah, that's weird. Because no, but think about it, right? Okay, do you believe in those things or no?
I listen to them all the way through. I'm like listening to them until they say something that I'm like, that doesn't apply to me. And then I keep going. I don't know if I believe it or not. Like I, you know, I'm a Christian. I trust God, but also like I think energy is real, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I have to believe it because if I don't, then I have, I don't, what are we going to do in this industry? You know, I'll be like, what are we going to do? If we don't have somebody constantly telling us you're going to be famous tomorrow,
Yeah,
if you share this with yourself, you'll get $20 tomorrow, you know.
yeah,
I do
reasonable.
it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
share it with myself. I like it.
yeah, healthy delusion. You know what I mean?
Yes. Delulu is always the Salulu.
Yeah, not true. No, because it's funny because there was this I was about to ask you, do you have crystals and all that
I don't do all that.
dream catcher and star signs tattooed on your body or something?
Do you?
No,
Oh,
no. I know someone who has, and it's the weirdest part because she could never guess my sign right. So it was just I knew that moment it's just BS.
yeah, I think so I just discovered my astrological sign 3 years ago when I started acting. That was, like you meet creatives and there are
Mm.
people in the creative space who are really into that and, they look very deeply into that, which is really cool. I mean, I don't know, everything's a theory in my head anyway, so it could be true. But I'm a Libra and
Okay.
I definitely fit everything with a Libra. So I mean, that's, I don't know. I'm very much a peacemaker. I'm very much a middle of the road. I like to hear both sides before I make a decision type of person. That's kind of fits my star astrological sign.
Mm.
But no, I don't have any tattoos of any of that. Uh, I do have
Yeah.
a tattoo though.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. You want to see it?
Sure.
It's just on my neck.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so okay, I'm gonna show it to you and I'm gonna tell you what it is. Okay.
Okay.
Let me know. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So this is one tattoo that I have. I got it a week after I graduated college. So my dad got custody of me when I was 14. And this is to represent him. It's called I don't know what it's called, but to me, it represents a triangle. So to me, it's like Father, Son, Holy Spirit. And then there's like a little overhang. And that's like God's covering over me. And so, um, yeah, it's for my dad. And when he saw it, he cried, but he was very upset that I got a tattoo. But that's the only one I have and the only one I'm gonna get. So, because it's for, my family, for my dad.
Mm. Okay, but I don't want to get political, but apart from that, if you're comfortable, what's your religious beliefs exactly?
Yeah, I would say that I'm a Christian, but I do not believe in hell.
Okay,
So I don't
so
know.
okay, I
I,
think is it okay? I'm not a Christian, or I don't know much about it, so you have to educate me on that. But is it the Catholic side of Christianity that believes in hell?
they all believe in hell. I don't know. I don't know who doesn't. I I mean, I know people who don't believe in hell, but they're not Christians. Like they don't identify as Christians. But my thing is if God is good, like why would anybody go to hell? Doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm standing firm on that. I like deconstructed a couple years ago. I grew up in a very Christian household, very like judgmental, hardcore Christian household. And um, yeah, I had to like deconstruct all that a couple years ago. And I can't think of why God would ever make a hell at all or why anybody would go to hell. Like if you believe in God in another religion, like why you believe in God, you why would you go to hell? If your heart is in the right place, like that's what really matters. And the Bible's weird, man. The Bible says that like people who were awful, terrible, horrible, awful people go to heaven. So why can't everybody? I don't.
That's
That's what I
weird. What about karma?
karma. Mm. I like to believe that karma exists, but I don't like to believe that karma exists in my personal world. That's more of like a spiritual thing for me because my thought on karma is if I believe in karma, then I'm hoping for pain or bad to happen to people who have done bad to me or done bad to others. I do think we all get judged one day, but it's not my place to decide who gets judged or who has karma or who, you know. But I don't know. I feel like karma exists for me sometimes where I'm like,
Is there a big market of movie industry and well, social media? You can do it from any place in the world, but how's that? How's that industry growing over there?
in Texas. So ugh, it is. We have Taylor Sheridan here who works with Paramount. He has a contract with Paramount, so he I think is supposed to make 12 series in the next. I think he doesn't really have a timeline with Paramount, and so we've had a couple of good shows come out of here. So, he's the one who created Yellowstone. And then he worked on, right now they're working on something called Madison Avenue, 1924, 1886, um, Lioness, Bass Reeves. I mean, there are a ton of TV shows happening here in Texas. It's been great in regards to that. And movie making, most of it here is still indie filmmaking. I think they're doing a lot of SAG big time stuff in Oklahoma, which is kind of random. But I did just work with a group of actors from LA who they moved their whole families to Waco. So they're opening a studio in Waco. They're going to be opening like a production studio there, you know, where they can, have sets and everything. And then we're also building a couple of studios in Bastrop, Texas. And then in Austin, we have a really good place. Oh my gosh, I can't think of the name. I filmed there, but I can't even think of it right now. But we have a lot of really good studios here in Texas, between Austin and Dallas. I think those are the two front runners, I guess. But we're kind of experiencing a lot of what LA is experiencing right now. I know LA is having a lot of verticals.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've done a few in LA and I've done a couple here in Texas. And the ones in Texas, I mean, they're produced by filmmakers in LA. I think they're just trying to expand that genre across the US. So that's been really interesting to be a part of and watch grow. Um, but I think LA, California just signed another bill for some pretty big incentives. So I think next year's going to look different, though I do think Texas and California are going to be the two top contenders for filmmaking, I think, in 2026.
Yeah. Yeah. Runner up will be Canada, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's because I'm trying to not deal with SAG in Canada. Like they can film in Canada and not deal with SAG. They can film in England and not deal with SAG. I know I've seen a lot of verticals that are filming in like the like Baltic islands in Turkey and
Yeah.
in China. Most of those companies are based in China, so that would make sense. There was one in like Bosnia, which is kind of random, but yeah, I don't know. We're just expanding.
And people get like daily work, their constant work on this, and they made this their whole livelihood, which is interesting to me because it's on Short App or something, and they get a good chunk of money too. So that's interesting as well. And
Yeah,
also, yeah, and you missed out Australia. People are filming in Australia too.
Miss Australia.
Yeah, you don't like Australians or what?
Oh no, I love Australians. What are you talking about? Somebody
Yeah.
told me that Australia was a prison island, I
Yeah.
guess, and that's why people are so strong there.
That I don't know, being strong and thing, but yeah, people used to just the misdemeanors and all those people that they really didn't want there. They just used to send them to Australia.
That is so wild to me. And then they just created Australia. I mean,
Yeah.
from like villains. I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
Anti-heroes.
Anti-heroes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. We love Australia. Please don't cancel us, Australia, please.
Oh, I love Australia. No, this was told to me by a friend who's from Australia. This is all,
Okay.
yeah, she's this girl, man, I was a little scared of her. She could beat me up, but she was beautiful. I mean, they all are beautiful. Australians are just known for being stunning, tall, Amazonian, beautiful people. Um, but yeah. Anyway, so the verticals, those are super fun. Yeah, there are a bunch of people in LA making a living off of it, and man, they make bank, and they'll fly them wherever. So I know Real Short. I'm not sure if any of the other ones do it. There are different ones. There's Drama Box, Real Short, uh, or Drama Wave, Real Short, Snack Short. I mean, there's so many companies now, but I know with Real Short, so they have, I think like 12 to 15 actors and actresses that are on contracts with Real Short. So they're kind of doing what Paramount used to do back in like the 30s to the 70s, where they would just contract an actor, and then they would have to do a certain number of films in a certain time, or they would work for that studio. And so that's what Real Short is doing. So that's why you'll see like some of the same people in different shows or movies. It's really interesting what they're doing, but they're making bank, making some good money.
Yes. And also with the streaming involved, which got huge out of nowhere, mainly because of, I would say, pandemic. I cannot use that word, by the way, because YouTube has really harsh guidelines on that word. For
Really?
some unknown reason, yeah, I don't want them to smite my small channel. But yeah.
This is another thing about social media that makes me really mad and kind of throws me off a little bit. Meta, I'm looking at you. No, they're not gonna, you don't have to include that. But I got a death threat in one of my comments. Yeah, they were like, we're gonna blow up this whole place, like for the Apple Sport thing. So I reported it, and they were like, we don't see anything wrong with this. Move along. And I've gotten reported and blocked for like saying certain words. I mean, it's just crazy what flies and what doesn't on social media. That's back to the whole social media thing.
Really? Because it's weird because I was commenting on the thing I told you about, right? The when there's a reel that says what your main character will respond as. So
Yeah.
I typed something like an idiot and they were like, you cannot type that comment. First, find someone else. And I'm like, you get the whole death threats and it was seen by you? How is that possible?
Who are these moderators?
Yes.
3-year-olds? Like what's going on here?
Yes. I've reported
Moderating this.
a lot of bots too. You know those bots, the OF bots that follows you, and I've reported them, and they only removed one of them.
Really? Yeah, I don't understand. And I thought there was a crackdown on bots. Like I thought, but no, I know that that's not happening because I know a lot of people who buy their followers and taboo, but buy their followers and they still have that many followers. And I thought they were doing a crackdown on that.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
thought no, but that's the weirdest part. Like they don't, I don't get it because most of the time there was like bunch of bots. They used to ban those accounts too, which have bots in that regard, and some people got banned because they were being overtly sexual with it.
Yeah.
OF things, and yeah, for some unknown reason there was this one. uh I'm gonna edit this part out and I'm sorry when I'm
That's okay.
mentioning
No,
it.
this is off record.
Yeah. There was this a lot of like explicit, almost without obviously showing the privates. There's this BDSM page that I reported, and they were like, I know you are upset, but we cannot remove it. And I'm like, what?
What? Then what can you remove? Like what are you doing? I don't know. I feel like this is an instance of they're replacing humans with AI, and this is just a repercussion of that. It's like things that are going under the radar that should not be going under the radar. That's crazy.
Yeah, and there's some, and also how to stand out. This is an actual question. How to stand out with all this AI slop that we are getting almost every day?
I have no idea. I wish I could answer that. It got me. I was like so convinced that I would be able to tell if something was AI or not. And there was one video a couple weeks ago of a woman feeding a bear. And I followed another girl named Susan who feeds bears and it's real. She's real. So I thought this video was real. And I showed it to my friend and he's like, that's definitely not real. Look at her hair. Like the way it moves, it's not real. That's AI. Well, it was AI. And so I don't know. I'm hoping, have you seen the stuff about Vine coming back? They're bringing back Vine and they're doing anti-AI. So it's not even allowing you to post any AI videos.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
So hopefully that'll be the next big. platform so we can kind of, because the AI thing is scary.
Yes, it is scary, but wine, yeah, that thing birthed TikTok in a way, right? There's a lot of TikTok stars. The Paul brothers were on it, if I'm not wrong. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Vine,
yeah.
RIP.
It created some demons.
Yes, it kind of did. Yeah, I agree.
No, but it's funny because I guess TikTok was about to be banned too, but out of nowhere it was saved.
I have no idea. I think it's all for show. I think all of that is for show and power and I don't know. I just don't know. I
Mm,
cannot wait. I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway.
yeah.
I cannot wait to die and know all the answers. It's like
Yeah,
a weird thing to say, but have you watched Pluribus on Apple TV?
I have not. I have not
It,
yet.
it's really good. It's about like aliens, not aliens, like a substance takes over the world and everybody's in a hive mind. And like there are only 11 people who it didn't work on. And
Mm,
so they're like you and me, just they're normal people. They have their own thoughts. Everybody else has one thought at all times, but they have all the memories of everybody. Anyway, I always say, I'm like, oh, if that happened, I would go to Area 51. I'd go to the White House. I'd like go through every cabinet drawer. I'd go to the Vatican, to the basement, and look at all the archived books that they have. I want to know, but I know I'll never know in this lifetime, like the answers to certain things. And that's one of the things that I just won't have an answer to in this lifetime, I think.
mm. I think it's just I would love to say I would like to say that the people who are running this algorithm, even they don't know what's going on. It
True.
has this life of its own.
We're all just here.
Yeah. That's why I don't believe in such thing conspiracy like the world is being controlled by some evil organization because I don't think so. Because there's a limit of evil, like evil genius, but there's no limit of stupidity. So I'm thinking like a lot of people are just
People are just stupid. You hear
yeah,
that?
yes. Uh,
Funny.
okay. It feels like I don't have anything that I will post. I have to edit out the most of the stuff.
Yeah, I don't understand any of it.
Any future projects that you want to talk about here?
Yes, I have a few things coming up that I want to talk about, but I'm not sure everything that I can say about them right now. So all I'm going to say about that is find me on social media and I will keep you guys posted there.
Okay, absolutely. There's one question that I ask everyone, and that's the one that is that's the whole point of me doing this podcast is to help people who wants to break into the industry, not just acting or even in social media, modeling, etc. What would be your advice to those young folks or uh, novice people who are trying to break into the industry and sometimes are losing hope because of all the mess we see around?
Okay, I'm going to hold y'all's hand when I say this. Here's what we're going to do. If you have money, what you're going to do is go on Google. You're going to Google acting classes near me for the camera. For the camera, make sure to specify. Okay. You're going to sign up for either a scene class or whatever. You're going to ask every question that you can think of while you're in this class. It's typically going to be like a month long and somewhere between $200 and $225. You're going to go, you're going to meet everybody you can. You're going to ask them how to get on set. If you want to just get on set tomorrow on a SAG set as a background actor, go to mycastingfile.com. Now, this is the free way to do it. If you do not have the money, but you still want to do it, you want to see if you like it before you commit to a class, go on mycastingfile.com and or Google background actors needed in my area because I'm 100% sure there's going to be something for you. Okay. And if that doesn't work out for you, and if you're a director or a filmmaker or a writer, just start writing. Just start making stuff. We have these amazing cameras. These are better than cameras that came out in the 2000s, early 2000s, and in the 90s. Your phone is the perfect resource. So just start doing it. Just see if you like it, see if you want to do it. Maybe do some internal work if you're not even ready for those steps. But I'd say just start putting content out. Just start applying for jobs. Start, just do it. Just do it.
Yeah. Uh, Nike sponsor us, please. Okay.
Nike, looking at
Yes,
you.
yes, please sponsor us. So one more thing I wanted to ask, I forgot, is that when you say, are you SAG or no?
I'm SAG eligible. So Texas is a right to work state, and SAG has not come after me yet. So for now, I'm just SAG eligible.
Okay.
But I heard
Uh,
they track you down later if you do more stuff.
what do you mean exactly? Because, and moreover, is it worth it if you're new?
No, I don't think so. I think if you're new, honestly, I don't even think you should find an agent. Like go on backstage.com or mycastingfile.com. Just start getting on sets. Don't sign with an agent until you're 100% sure that that's who you want to be with because some agencies might not get you. Oh, you know what? No, pause. Okay. I'm deleting all that. This is what I'm going to say. Go to the SAG website. You can find SAG franchised agencies in your area on the SAG website. They get, I mean, they get the same auditions as other agencies, but they will also get more SAG projects because they follow the SAG guidelines. They pay their actors within 30 days. They have, there are certain guidelines to be SAG franchised as an agency. So do that. And then, yes, backstage, my casting file, actorsaccess.com is where you'll find like the bigger projects. Uh, and you can self-submit, but if you don't have time for that, then get an agent. I just signed with an agent in Texas. I didn't have one for a year. I had a Texas agent and then she retired. And so I had just been like doing my own self-submissions every single day. But it's definitely possible. Uh, and just keep going, keep doing it. Be delulu, be delusional. Just be delusional. It's 2026. Come on.
But one thing I wanted to ask, like, it's I'm guilty of that too. When you get more into the arts and your work and everything, you lose your personal life.
Yes. I agree with that. I think it's interesting how conspiracy theorists are always like, oh, and then they said that they sacrificed their family in interviews. And, like before I worked in this field, I was like, what? That's crazy. I didn't believe it, but I thought that was crazy. And now I understand that deep within my soul. Being an actor, working in any creative field, you're 1099, you're working for yourself, you are your own boss in any entrepreneurship. You're going to lose some friends and you're going to lose time with your family. For me, I'm afraid to travel because I'm scared I'm going to get a job. And like that's how I eat, that's how I make rent, that's how I survive. So um yeah, I think you do like sacrifice certain aspects of your life. And I barely have a personal life. I also have a low white blood cell count, so um whenever I'm out in public, I just get sick. I'll get sick from anybody or anything. I've been sick for 4 weeks now. And I even did a round of antibiotics and I'm still sick. So my personal life doesn't really exist, but that's okay. I'm just building and I think I think it's gonna come together nicely.
Mm.
I'm
So if
happy. I'm happier than I've ever been.
yeah, I can see that. I can see that you're happy from your soul.
Yeah.
But that's something if they want to break into this one industry, they should know,
Yes,
right?
it's very lonely, but all I say it what I say to counteract that is to just keep blinders on. Do not look at the people around you because I don't know if you know Frank Sinatra, but he has a really good song where he sings, I did it my way. And that's where we all should be mentally. So just do it your way. But yeah, you will lose a lot of free time.
Mm.
A lot.
Yeah. And also, time management is a skill that you have to learn sooner rather than later, if possible.
He knows what he's talking about.
No, I'm just kidding. But no, I
Oh, you're
don't.
right. It's like it's a big skill you have to learn. I was lucky because I came from medical sales. So I was already working out of my car. I had to create my own schedule every single day, and I was in charge of 7 states. So I was driving, to Mississippi on a Sunday night so I could be there for a surgery on Monday morning. And I was just I had to learn time management that way. And I got really lucky that I did that in a corporate setting. But it is something if you don't have that, like it's something you got to learn in this industry for sure.
Mm, that's good. And also networking.
Yes, another sales skill from sales that I got was networking, how to talk to a million different types of people. I mean, you're going to meet some, all different people from different walks of life, and you have to know how to talk to them.
Yeah. Some of the times you have to, I guess, meet people who are like, you won't gel, but you still have to be like, sometimes schmoozing is not the right word, but you have to schmooze sometimes.
Yeah. And you just kind of have to fake it till you make it with those kinds of people for sure. That's fake it till you're offset.
Yes. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Because sometimes I guess in the indie scene it's more of that, right? Okay.
I just have one bad experience on set. I'll say that. Like most of my personal experiences have been absolutely phenomenal. I only had one time that I almost walked off set. But that was just insane. So yes, and it was an indie movie. So I
Oh.
totally understand that.
That's yeah, yeah. And thank you for coming here. It was an amazing conversation. Thank you for that. And I wish I would. You said you write and direct as well, right?
Yes,
Okay. Do you have any drafts ready?
yes. But
Oh,
it will all be seen in 2026. I
oh.
it's everything is written. I just got a decent camera with a microphone.
Hmm.
Um, I can't talk about it, but I'm so
Okay.
excited. It's my own thing, and I haven't told anybody what I'm doing, but it's it's gonna be hopefully amazing. I don't know.
Yes. And what about your finances? I hate to ask this question, but
My what?
finances, because when you're starting, you're just yeah, you're living off paycheck by paycheck, or sometimes you don't get a paycheck for months.
Yeah, I think yes, that has been difficult, but so when I worked in medical sales, I did really well for myself. And so that's kind of helped pay my way, like in acting, to get headshots and do classes and things like that. And I did medical sales, even though I got let go from that one company, I still did it again later after that summer of working in film full time. I started at a new company and then I worked there for 6 months. It's just interesting because once you work in the creative fields, it's like jobs are nothing now to me. I could just get a job tomorrow. If I need money, I'll just go get a job tomorrow. So I was a server at a country club for like a year. That I just quit that in July because I was booked out. So I couldn't go back. Left on great terms. They really want me to come back. But I know that I have, I think coming from a corporate job into like the service industry and doing that kind of stuff, I just don't care enough. I'm like, I'm literally here for money, and I need to go home so I can pay for my class, like my acting class that I'm doing, you know? So I think personally, my mindset on jobs completely changed once I joined this industry. I mean, I was working to get my MBA so that I could get higher in medical sales, so I could be like C-suite. And so letting that go feels crazy, but that's also where I lost a lot of friends. They were like, "You're actually insane for quitting your good, stable job for what?" But you know, the heart wants what it wants. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I was literally about to say that. Yeah, you read my mind. Thank you.
But the heart wants what it wants.
Yes.
And once you know, you can't turn around. Why is it
Yeah.
like that? I don't know.
Mm,
I'll tell you.
yeah, I can't tell you either. But yeah,
Good. I so appreciate you. I think your questions were wonderful and insightful, and
thank you.
yeah.
And okay, and cut.
Cut.
Please, please, I'm begging you. Please. I'm desperate. I don't know what to do. Please subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe for more content.
Subscribe to my channel.